Hello there, how's it going? Welcome to Speak English with Rosendo. And today, I'm so excited to share with you a very important grammar point or lesson. So I have here my laptop to guide me for a smoother flow of discussion about this grammar point. I'm gonna teach you when to use tag questions, how to use tag questions properly. Okay, now what do we mean by tag questions? What are these tag questions? That is very important for us to know to avoid, errors in our writing in particular, or even in speaking. So tag questions, it says here that they are short questions we add at the end of a sentence to check information or ask for confirmation. Now let me repeat that. Tag questions are short questions we add at the end of a sentence to check information or ask for confirmation. For the first rule, the emphasis is on the do verbs like does or doesn't with the pronouns he, she, or it. Okay, let's focus this time on a statement that has singular subject. It could be, the subject could either be a pronoun or a name of a person, place, thing, or event, and vice versa. Now for the first example, before I present to you the first example, I want you to remember this, okay? If the sentence is positive, the tag is negative. It's the opposite. I will repeat. If the sentence is positive, the tag is negative. Let's take an example. Roman speaks English every day. Roman speaks English every day. What is the main verb used in that sentence? We have speaks. Speaks is a singular verb used in this sentence. The speak or speaks is the verb, is the action that Roman does in the sentence, does every day. Roman speaks English every day. Question, is that a negative statement or positive? It's positive, right? So going back to the rule that is mentioned earlier, if the sentence is positive, the tag question must be positive or negative? Negative, right. It should be negative. Because the statement is positive, the tag should be in the opposite way. It should be negative. So, Roman speaks English every day. The tag question is doesn't he? Okay, why doesn't? Because the rule says if the sentence is positive, which is the stem statement, the root sentence says if the sentence is positive, the tag is negative, and Roman speaks English every day is positive. Okay, so the appropriate tag question there, according to the rule, should be negative. So if it speaks is the main verb in a sentence, then the do verb that should be placed in the tag question should be doesn't. Doesn't he? He is the appropriate pronoun to use to represent Roman. And so it goes, Roman speaks English every day. Doesn't he? Doesn't he? Okay, we're going to take note of that. Next sentence. Venice joins the English club. Venice joins the English club. What do you think is the appropriate tag question to be added to the base sentence, which goes, Venice joins the English club? Come to think of it, okay, what is the main verb used in the sentence? We have joins. What does Venice do? She joins the English club. Positive or negative? It's positive. So if the statement or the base sentence is expressed positively, the rule says the tag should be negative. If the tag is negative, what then is the appropriate tag question to be added to the statement, Venice joins the English club? Right. It should be, doesn't she? Doesn't she? We don't say, doesn't Venice. We make use this time the appropriate pronoun in place of our main subject, which is Venice. So, doesn't she? Venice joins the English club. Positive base sentence. So the tag question attached to it should be, doesn't she? Doesn't she? Or does she not? Does she not? But in everyday normal conversation, particularly in the US, they always prefer the contraction version. Okay, doesn't she? Doesn't she? Okay, Venice joins the English club, doesn't she? Venice joins the English club, doesn't she? All right. Now we have another statement here. Vera practices pronunciation. Vera practices pronunciation. What is the main verb? Practices. Is it singular or plural? Singular, because the rule says when the subject, which is in this case Vera, singular, the verb must also be singular. And a singular verb in the present tense has letter S. We don't say Vera practice, but we say Vera practices pronunciation. Now with that statement, STEM statement or sentence, what do you think is the appropriate tag question? It should be, doesn't or does? Does or doesn't? Okay, it should be, doesn't she? Because again, Vera practices pronunciation is a positive base statement. So the tag question, according to the rule, should be negative. And so we've got, doesn't she? And so we go, Vera practices pronunciation. Doesn't she? Doesn't she? Or does she not? Does she not? All right. Now, for the last example in this part, we have here, it hurts you. It hurts you. That is the STEM sentence or statement. Now, is it negatively or positively stated? That's my question to you. Again, the statement, the base or the STEM sentence is positive. So, the tag question should be expressed in the negative. Okay, should be expressed negatively. How will you if it's negative? There's the word not or ain't. Okay, so we go, it hurts you, doesn't it? It hurts you, doesn't it? We don't say it hurts you, does it? Okay, our focus on this first part of our lesson today is on the negative tag question. Okay, if the tag question is negative, that means the STEM sentence is expressed in the positive way. Haven't you noticed that? That the first four examples of sentences are expressed in the positive. They are positively stated. So the tag questions there are also are then expressed in negative way. Okay? So remember that if the sentence is positive, the tag question that would be attached to it should be negative. Okay, let's continue. Now remember this, singular subject is equal to does or doesn't. We either, when the subject is singular, we use either does or doesn't, depending if the sentence is negative, we use positive tag question. If the sentence is positive, did I say it right? I will repeat. If the sentence is positive, the tag question should be negative. And if the sentence is negative, the tag question should be positive. So we've learned already about the use of does or doesn't in forming a tag question. Okay? So negative statement receives positive tag or positive tag question. Okay, this time let's take a couple of examples to explain about that condition, that when the statement is negative, the tag should be positive. I will make use of the same names of subjects. Okay, for this rule or condition, negative statement receives positive tag. We have first example, Roman doesn't speak English every day. Roman doesn't speak English every day. Is that a negative statement or positive? Of course, negative, because as I've just made mention, our focus now is all about negative statements that receive positive tags. Okay, do not be confused. Our focus now, condition your mind that our focus now is all about negative statements, and negative statements should receive positive tag questions. Just like the example, Roman doesn't speak English every day. Does he? Okay, I bet this is easier than the first one that we did, because the does is, you already have a clue here. Okay, we make use of the do verb does or doesn't. Unlike earlier, the main verb used there are all positive. Unlike here, it's influenced directly by does and doesn't. Okay, Roman doesn't speak English every day. So does he? That is the tag question. Positive. Roman doesn't speak English every day. Doesn't speak. So you already have a clue there. Doesn't speak is a main verb used in a sentence. So you just have to turn it into positive in the tag question. So Roman doesn't speak English every day. Does he? Okay, we don't say doesn't he. It's double negative, and it's already ungrammatical to say that. Okay, Roman doesn't speak English every day. Does he? Does he? All right. Number 2. Venice doesn't join the English club. What do you think is the tag question? Positive or negative? Let's go back to the statement rule. If the statement is negative, the tag should be positive. All right, let's go back to the sentence. Venice doesn't join the English club. So, does she? Does she? So, Venice doesn't join the English club. Does she? Why does she is the tag question? Because Venice doesn't join. The statement is negative. Venice doesn't join. With that initial part of the sentence, it's always showing us a negative sense. So Venice doesn't join the English club. Does she? Venice doesn't join the English club. Does she? That is the appropriate tag question. Okay. Next, Vera doesn't practice pronunciation. Does she? Another. Okay. The statement is negative because of the influence of the "nt" in the doesn't. So the doesn't will just simply be converted into positive. Or what is the opposite of doesn't? Does. And then connect to the word does the pronoun she to pertain to Vera. Okay? So we go, Vera doesn't practice pronunciation. Does she? Vera doesn't practice pronunciation. Does she? All right. Next, for the last part, for the last example. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt you. What is the tag? Does it? Does it? Does it? Okay? Does it? Why does it? Because the sentence makes use of the negative expression or verb, which is doesn't, does not, doesn't hurt you. Does it? It doesn't hurt you. Does it? Okay? Now we're learning, right? Because most of the time, English learners would normally use isn't it? It's raining outside, isn't it? She is beautiful, isn't it? Okay? She likes her, isn't it? So, isn't it always the general, seems to be the general tag question used by the English learners. They don't know that, tag question is not just limited to the use of isn't it. Okay? But there are actually a number of tag questions that should be used in a particular statement. Okay? It varies. It changes from time to time depending on the kind of verb used in the stem sentence or stem expression. All right. Now, let's proceed to rule number 2. It says here, use do or don't with pronouns I, you, we, they. I will repeat rule number 2. Use do or don't with the pronouns I, you, we, or they. Okay. To illustrate that, let's take an example. Okay. Roman and Venice. Take note, this time we have 2 subjects. Okay, in the first rule, we only have 1 subject in each sentence. This time, since we have the do verbs do or don't, which actually pertains to plural subject, like Roman and Venice, so we have a different, thing to keep in mind here. Okay, do or don't should only be used in the tag questions with I, you, we, or they, or the real name of the subject, particular name of the subject or noun, which in the first example for rule number 2, it says Roman and Venice speak English every day. Since there are 2 subjects, what do you think is the appropriate pronoun to represent them, to represent Roman and Venice? Is it we or they? Of course, they. Okay? Roman and Venice speak English every day. Don't they? Why don't they? Why is the tag question negative? Because the rule says this when the statement is positive, the tag question should be negative. It's the opposite. Take note of that. I keep emphasizing the opposite rule, the opposite side of the rule, which is if the statement is positive, the tag question should be negative. Okay? Roman and Venice speak English every day. Don't they? Don't they? All right. Next. You join the English club. You join the English club. What is a tag? Okay, we have singular subject there. Maybe you're referring to, you're just talking. If you're the speaker, and it so happened that you're speaking with just one person, then you there is a singular subject. However, do not be confused. You always receive plural verb. Okay? You will never say you is. It should be you are, or you know, you do. Okay? That is an exception to the rule. Now, you join the English club. Don't you? Why don't you? Because the main verb there is expressed in plural form. Okay? Join is the main verb, which is which is actually a plural verb. Okay? You join the English club. Positive, so the tag question should be negative. Don't you? You join the English club. Don't you? Or you join the English club. Don't you? Don't you? Okay. Another example. We practice pronunciation. We practice pronunciation. Subject is plural. Sentence is positive. So the tag question should be negative. So the appropriate verb there, or do verb there, is don't we? Don't we? We practice pronunciation. We practice pronunciation, don't we? We practice pronunciation, don't we? Okay, last example. I hurt you. I hurt you. The main verb is hurt. I hurt you. And the stem sentence, or the stem, is expressed in a positive way. It hurt. I hurt you. I hurt you. So the tag should be negative. So if the tag is negative, how should it be uttered? Don't I? I hurt you, don't I? You don't say doesn't I, because the rule says if I as a pronoun is used as a subject, then do or don't should be used in the tag. Okay? But in this case, we make use of don't as a negative tag because the statement I hurt you is positive. Okay? Now I want you to remember this. If the sentence is positive, I will repeat, if the sentence is positive, the tag is negative. All right, as simple as that. Now another, for emphasis, I will repeat, if the statement is negative, the tag question should be positive. Okay, to make it even clearer to you, let's have the examples. You don't join the English club, do you? You don't join the English club, do you? Do you? Do you is the tag question. It's positive because the sentence or the stem is in the negative way, negatively stated. I will repeat. You do not join the English club. Negative, and then it receives positive tag question, which is do you? You don't join the English club, do you? Do you? All right. Next, we don't, another negative statement, we don't practice pronunciation. We don't practice pronunciation. Do we? Do we? Do we? Do we? Positive tag question. Again, because the stem is negatively stated. We don't practice pronunciation. Do we? So we retain the pronoun we being the subject of the stem. We don't practice pronunciation. Do we? Do we? Do we? All right, before we end this lesson for today, let me just give you this as a quick reminder. Okay, I want you to remember two things again and again. When the sentence is positively expressed, meaning the sentence doesn't use not, then automatically the tag that should be attached to it should be negative. Okay? Positive sentence receives negative tag. On the other hand, when the sentence is negative, the tag question should be positive. Okay, is that clear? It's the end of our lesson for today. I do hope that it's now clear to you as to when and how tag questions are used in statements. For me to know if you really understood the lesson that I presented to you right now, I want you to construct your own sentence that uses tag questions. All right? Whether it be positive or negative, just let me know. All right. See you again in our next lesson.